now call the Iberia Parish Council meeting to order for March 13th, 2024. The current time now is 6:10. I have the prayer led by Councilman Pellerin and the pledge led by Councilman Swear. Councilman Pellerin. Start with the Our Father. Councilman Swear.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Madam Clerk, please initiate the roll call.
Francis Tommy Pollard. Michael Landry. Marcus Broussard. Lloyd Brown. Warren Gosherson.
Here.
Natalie Broussard. Dustin Swear. James Truha. Scott Ronsonnet. Brock Pellerin. Ryan Napier. Lady Fontanette Brown. Cayman Crapel. And Chad Maturin.
We have 12 members in the quorum. Moving on to council member announcements. Councilman Brown, you have an announcement? Okay. Let me go to the next one. Councilman Pellerin, was that to go into regular session or you got an announcement? Okay, hold on one second. Go ahead, sir. Gentleman from District 10 is recognized.
I got two of them, Mr. Chair. Thank you. First off, I want to let everyone know that we started our town hall meetings with the road tax and that they're going fine. I encourage everyone, if you can attend one, attend one. This is an informal meeting. A lot of good information has come out of these meetings, so I ask everyone, if you can, attend one of the meetings that's coming up. Second off, I'd just like to give the council and the public an update. Me and Cayman is in the leadership program. It's going very well. I think someone, it might have been Marcus, said one of the good things coming out of this leadership programs is finding people for our boards and commissions. And we've had several people in this group ask how they can help boards, commissions, whatever. Actually had a couple of them interested in running for elected positions. They were asking about us. Our first session, we did a stimulated society. It was kind of neat. They kind of threw it on us, broke us up in groups, threw it on us, and we had to, it was a stimulated society. We had to figure it out on our own. And just recently on Friday, we went to SLCC and we did a team building program, and we actually got to listen to the director of SLCC that came and gave us some good insight on the SLCC. So the program's real good program so far. I just wanted y'all to give y'all a little update of what was going on in it. I'm done.
The gentleman from District 10 yields back. The gentleman from District 8 is recognized.
Yeah, I'd like to let everyone know that this Saturday, March 16th, at Bayou Landing Shopping Center, there will be a spring block party at Emily Catherine Boutique from 10 to 5 with Paul Shake Snyder. Will be there autographing his new children's book from 11 to 2. And Whitney Broussard Design will have Dorm Design Day, Sweet Treats, Great American Cookie, Marble Slab, and Pancake House Permanent Jewelry Vendor will be there. Custom Hat Bar by Grace Collectives. Emily would like to invite everyone to enjoy the day with her and the business of participating. And I would also like to congratulate Lady Brown on becoming the president of the Black Caucus for Louisiana Police Jury Association.
Congratulations, Ms. Brown.
Which actually puts her on the executive committee board with Police Jury Association. So I want to congratulate her on that.
Thank you.
All right.
The gentleman from District 8 yields back. The gentleman from District 11 is recognized.
So if, after you go to James's deal Saturday, you, huh? Well, I mean, James announced it. So, at Albania Mansion, which is right outside of Jeanerette in St. Mary Parish, they're having a Creole Festival, the second annual. We used to have a Creole Festival in Jeanerette years ago with all the bells and whistles. It's toned down. The people at Albania Mansion are now, they put, it's like an arts and crafts. They got food. They got drink. You could tour the mansion. They got people selling stuff and all that. But I know the weather's not supposed to be too good. But if you're looking for to see the mansion out there and kind of hang around with some good Jeanerette people, come on down. Albania Mansion. Yeah.
Get some jewelry.
Yeah, come get some jewelry.
The gentleman from District 11 yields back. Let the record reflect that Councilman Broussard is in attendance. The gentleman from District 14 is recognized.
Yes, March 20th, 6 to 7:30, Town Hall for the upcoming road tax for Districts 2, 3, and 14. I'm not sure if one's gonna participate, but he was invited, and we just want to try to encourage as many people to attend, and like to encourage some of my fellow council members to attend also. Our fearless leader, he's in the hot seat, and sometimes he needs a little help from the audience, so we kind of throw him a bone every once in a while and get the information out to the people. But the last couple have been very informative, and when he's going over the information, you can look out in the crowd and you can see some aha moments from people. They don't really have a grip and realize what goes on here, and they're leaving with some very valuable information the parish president is providing. So.
Where is it gonna be?
At Francis Memorial Building in the Koto Park, I'm sorry, yes. March 20th, 6 to 7:30, Francis Memorial Building, please attend.
Mr.
Yes, anybody can attend, whether you're from District 1 to 14, please attend.
Mr. Montaran, I'm glad you said that tonight. We have something special that actually, majority of us are gonna be here tonight, except for one, that'll be able to see a program put together that'll play for the next 2 weeks. So Mr. Richard is prepared to do that tonight. And I was just kind of disappointed that the two speakers before you offered rings, jewelry, food, and then you came.
I didn't
and there's no
offer
popcorn, no nothing, huh?
Information,
Is it valuable?
Nice one, Ms. Broussard, I appreciate that. The gentleman from 14 yields back. The gentleman from District 7 is recognized.
Yeah, this coming Saturday was supposed to be Festival of the Live Oaks, which is held in the city park every year. After speaking with Heather, I know James is involved as well, they decided to postpone it due to the weather that's coming. A lot of times when the weather comes and hits us, it actually puts a damper on the whole weekend. So it's actually going to be moved to April 27th, the Saturday, April 27th. So it's the Festival of Live Oaks.
Voting day, yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you go vote first. But that will be the date for the festival, so just keep an eye out on Facebook and other ads to see what's going on with that festival. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from District 9 is recognized.
Real quick on the PAC. I want to thank Mr. Richard and all my other council members that showed up to back me up. You know, it was a good one we had in Louisville last week. Probably 60, 70 people showed up, and it's the same thing. When you started touching on what we have to spend money on, and people were like, "Man, I didn't know that. I didn't know that." And after the meeting, I had people hit me up, and I even got hit again yesterday at the baseball meeting. Man, I didn't know y'all had to spend this, and then I walked through it again with some people. So it's good that we got the eyes open, and then other people are coming behind and say, "Man, somebody told me this." So these meetings are good to get the information out there. So if you can attend one, and I will have another one on the backside of everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The gentleman yields back. Hearing no other requests, moving on to Parish President's announcements. Parish President Richard.
So,
Starting
again,
to be a trend, Mr. Richard. We need to be very careful
you
here.
know,
I don't like the ethics board calling me. Can't serve two positions.
you can't be at both.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so very much. Actually, we have a, can you get it? We have a little PowerPoint I want to put up here for you today. Brian, 3 meetings in a row. No joke, man.
We're gonna have to get those big billboards like at Congress that sits right behind C-SPAN.
Yeah.
If you wanna start and
I
we
could
see what-
actually, I'll go down and get started. Okay, completed projects that we have in Iberia Parish right now. Work has been completed on the main library. The sidewalk programs, you guys remember when we had to change out all the pavement markers on the sidewalk. That is done, completed, look extremely good. Very proud of the way that project came out. The transfer switches for Willowwood and Ward 8 is completed. It's in perfect time. Of course, we've been trying to get that done for a while. And the reason we have those transfer switches at those two parks is simply because in the event of an emergency,
Now it is.
Thank you.
It is?
We're live.
In the event of an emergency and we have to use Willowwood or Ward 8 and we need a generator, we actually have all of that taken care of right now. So it's going to be very, very good thing for Iberia Parish. Project updates. The Coteau Ridge subdivision, we only have 17 lots left to sell in that first phase. We've sold 96 lots over there already. So we're in the process of doing phase 2 and phase 3. Now it's on. We're in the process of doing phase 2 and phase 3, getting everything ready for that. Those lots are selling really, really fast. I don't know if you guys drove around there lately, but that subdivision is looking very, very, very good. Vita Shaw Bridge, today we had a pre-construction meeting. Southern Construction is the contractor for that particular project. Construction should begin within 2 months. We expect the completion to be done September, October. We should be totally completed. There's, when you do these types of bridges, they have some things that they have to order. It's specially designed, so they actually placed the order already, but they probably won't get that until somewhere around the middle of May. And they should start the actual work in June, and the project should be completed by the end of September, the beginning of October. The Labe Road Bridge, we had a pre-construction meeting today on that. Gray Construction is the contractor for that particular project. It's a precast bridge that we're actually going to be placing over there. The bridge is ordered and should be completed by mid-May. Construction hopefully is going to start in June, and hopefully that bridge is going to be done in October. We have a lot of activities going on in Iberia Parish, and what I decided to do is start taking 5 and 10 minutes at every meeting, tell you some of the things that's happening. As far as litter abatement in Iberia Parish, on February the 24th and March the 9th, we went out along with the help from the district attorney's office. We picked up 152 bags of trash and tires and everything else that goes with it. Laundry, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you got mattresses, the whole 9 yards. So all of that was done. And I also want to thank the sheriff, because the sheriff have inmates that actually go out in the parish as well. And they're doing a fantastic job trying to pick up litter in the parish. Household Waste Day is going to be held on April the 27th, which is Election Day, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 noon in the parking lot in the back. And of course, we do that twice a year, so this is the one that's going to take place at the beginning of the year, and I think we'll do another one somewhere maybe around October. Libraries. The library, actually, what I did, I asked the director of the libraries to start giving you guys this newsletter that they put out. They have so many things that's going on at the library. They have adult program, youth resources, children programs. They have all kinds of things that's going on at the library. And a lot of people think that the library is only used to check out books, that is absolutely not the case. The library plays a big part in Iberia Parish for a lot of families, and I want to make sure that from now on we try to make the people understand what it is that's being done at that particular library. I'm going to touch a little bit on what some council members mentioned already. April 27 is Election Day. We've had 2 town hall meetings already. One was held in Laurelville and one was held in Lydia. Both of them was a major success. I want to thank you, Natalie, for attending. Chad, Brock, Scott, Dustin, Cayman, and everyone else that attended. This is awesome. The more council members we see over there, the better off it is to make the people realize that we're all on the same page, trying to educate them on what it is that's going on in Iberia Parish and what need to be done to continue the success that we're having here in this parish. Infrastructure is a big deal, and we need to continue to talk about it and try to get those things done. The next town hall meeting will be on March the 20th at 6 o'clock. Coteau Francis Romero Memorial Building. Actually, I was appointed to the Parochial Employee Retirement System, which is a government parochial retirement board. So I'm actually on that board right now. It's a very big board. It's a serious board. Had my first meeting on yesterday. It covers the retirement funds that we have. It's a very big deal. So I've served on a lot of boards in my day, but this is one that deals with a lot. So I'm very proud for that appointment, and I'm hoping to do the best job I could possibly do with them. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for our employees and for anyone that's involved in the parochial system. This is a Louisiana board. The next thing is the Police Jury Association. We had our conference on February the 29th in Lake Charles. I'm the chairman of the Environmental and Solid Waste Committee. We had our meeting there, and we had our guest speaker was Ms. Rhonda McCormick, who's the regional manager for LDEQ. And Ms. Rhonda and the rest of us, we discussed a lot. We talked about air quality, water quality, hazardous waste, solid waste, compliance assistance, just to name a few things that we talked about at that particular meeting. For information, or for your information only, DEQ is also responsible for permitting emergency debris sites. Each parish must have a site pre-approved before any type of storm that hit us. Iberia Parish will already have several sites approved. So we try to stay on top of that. It's a big deal. Another thing we talked about at that particular meeting was litter. Litter is a big problem throughout the whole state of Louisiana, and tires especially is a major concern for what we have in the state, in this parish. In fact, I met with some people today, and we were talking about issues with tires as well. Also at that particular meeting, we had the Deputy of Insurance, Mr. Barrow Peacock, was there, who talked about fortified roof program for homes. This, we hope that this is going to get some people in Iberia Parish to fortify their roof to bring the insurance rate down for those particular homeowners. And this is a very, very big deal. We have a lot of insurance companies that left the state of Louisiana. And believe it or not, a lot of it had to do, seems like, with roofs, because those roofs are flipping up. Every time you get a higher wind, the roofs are going off, and they're steady writing insurance, because once your roof goes off and it's raining, your water is getting in your house, so it creates a big problem. Former council member Eugene Olivier was recognized at that particular function for serving as the second vice president for the Louisiana Police Association Executive Board. That was really a big deal that took place. And last but not least, I want to congratulate you, Lady Brown, on being elected as president of the Louisiana Police Jury Black Caucus Association. I also want to thank you because you're also going to be serving on the Louisiana Police Jury Association Executive Board. And that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. The Executive Board for the Louisiana Police Jury Association, we do a lot. We talk about resolutions that affect all of the different parishes in the state. We work very, very close with our delegation. So you're going to find that when session is going on, you may get called and asked to do something from Guy Cormier, who is actually our leader for the Louisiana Police Jury Association. It's a major board, and it's going to require some work. But congratulations for being there. Mr. Chairman, I'm going to stop. It's 6:30 almost, and we haven't got to the first item yet.
At this time already, any questions for the parish president? Hearing and seeing none, moving on to public comments. I'll need a motion to go into public comments. Have that motion by Councilman Swear, second by Councilman Trahan. Vote your machines, members. Sorry about that. Go ahead, vote your machines. Councilman Napier, Councilwoman Brown. That motion carries unanimously. We're now into public comments. Number one, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on agenda items.
We did not receive any. Number two.
Persons being considered for the appointment to the parish boards, commissions to address the council.
We do have a request by Mr. Marcus Boudreau to be appointed to the Veterans Board in Lydia. Mr. Boudreau, if you want to step to the mic, state your name and address for the record.
Marcus Boudreau, 1509 Elm Street, New Iberia, Louisiana, District 5.
Want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a U.S. Army veteran.
101st.
And I'm very active with the veterans groups. I've been involved with Iberia Veterans Association for the past 4 years. We took the memorial from what it was with the help of the city, with the help of the parish. And I feel with this appointment that we can reach out to all the veterans, whether it be city, parish, the neighboring parishes also. We can't draw boundaries. We cannot draw boundaries because Because we have veterans that come here. They come here for the Spanish Festival, they come here for the Sugarcane Festival, they all come here. And they want to see something. So anything I can bring to this board, I would love to.
Are there any questions from Mr. Boudreaux at this time? We do have one by the parish president.
Marcus, aren't you a member of the 101st Airborne Division?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got to make sure you tell people who we are.
I left my hat right there.
He's a member of the 101st Airborne
It was
Division.
100 for, I mean, it was during Desert Storm and just,
Yeah.
Mr. Boudreaux, thank you for wanting to serve
That
the
part you
community.
can't
We
leave out,
appreciate it.
man. I always say that.
Thank you for being here, sir.
Yeah, you're right.
Moving on, we have Mr. Jace Dugas for Iberia Parish Library Board appointment. Mr. Dugas, if you can state your name and address for the record, please.
Jace Dugas, 4218 Forest LeBlanc Road, New Iberia, Louisiana, 70560. And I'm a business owner in Iberia Parish. I have 3 businesses, 1 nonprofit. We're bringing technology to the state. We think that a library is a good focal point to teach this technology and advance our future. The students, even the adults, could learn some of this technology. And we're the first in the country to represent some of these products, as in 3D printing and 3D scanning technology. We do believe sitting on the board our input will help make decisions on advancing our community forward.
Good. Are there any questions for Mr. Dugas at this time, members? We do have one by Councilman Pellerin.
More of a comment than a question. Jace, I want to thank you for doing this, and Jace, he has a lot of technology in his business, and look, I think this is kind of what we all want the library to kind of start focusing on, is the technology. Chase, thank you for stepping up and wanting to do this. We definitely need somebody like that on that library board. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing and seeing no other, Mr. Dugas, thank you for wanting to serve the community. We appreciate it, sir. Seeing no other requests, I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have that motion. You pressed it too early. I have do I have a motion by Councilman Trahan, second by Pellerin. Vote your machines, members, to go back into regular session. That motion carries. We're now back into regular session. Community events and public service announcements. There is none. Reports from finance and administrative actions. There is none. Reports from parish or other governmental agencies. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Monthly permit report for the month of February 2024.
Members, you should have received that by email. Number 2.
Mr. Chris Disher and Mr. Jimmy Lewis to give an update on the 2 broadband projects in Koto.
They're not here.
Not here. Okay, seeing here none, moving on to Public Works reports. Number 1.
Public Works Department report for closed work orders dated January 24th through February 14th, 2024.
Members, you should have received that by email also. Moving on to special business, there is none. Consent agenda items for public hearing and adoption. We have the minutes of regular meeting of February 21st, 2024. Summary number 32, introduced by the clerk of the council.
A resolution accepting the resignation of Mr. Mark Delahousie as a member of the Iberia Parish Library Board of Control, representing the community, effective immediately.
Summary number 33, introduced by the clerk of the council.
A resolution of condolences to the family of Mr. Ronnie F. Clark, former member of the Lydia Veterans Memorial Building Advisory Board, who passed away on January 26, 23.
Summary number 34, introduced by Lady Fontenette Brown of District 12.
A resolution proclaiming the month of March 2024 as Women's History Month.
Summary number 35, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution proclaiming the month of March 2024 as American Red Cross Month in Iberia Parish.
Summary number 36, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution authorizing the Iberia Parish President and the Director of the Iberia Parish Waterworks District Number 3 to enter into an agreement with the Iberia Parish Economic Development Authority to accept grant funding in the amount of up to $20 million to fund the development and construction of a water treatment plant at the Acadiana Regional Airport, providing for the effective date thereof, and otherwise providing with respect thereto.
Summary number 37, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution amending the 2024 Waterworks District Number 3 fund budget in the amount of $16,678,531 to create project line items for the development and the construction of a water treatment construction plant project at the Acadiana Regional Airport. Recognize private source contributions through IEDA by agreement and appropriate expenditure line items per engineer's opinion of probable cost, with said adjustment having no effect on the fund balance, all to be funded by grant proceeds from the Iberia Parish Economic Development Authority. Note, a motion to suspend the rules is needed at this item was not considered by the Joint Committee.
Summary number 38, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution amending the 2024 Waterworks District Number 3 fund budget to transfer funding between 3 water sector projects. A, Water Well 5, add expenditures of $570,783. B, Storage Tank, add expenditures of $64,833. C, Plant Upgrades, reduce expenditures by $635,616 and adjust related portions of the water sector and ARPA fundings, with the said adjustments having no effect on fund balance.
Summary number 39, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a contract for emergency and non-emergency services between Iberia Parish Government and Acadian Ambulance Service Incorporated, relating to services for the Iberia Parish Jail, providing for effective date thereof, and otherwise providing with respect thereof.
At this time, members, I need a motion to open consent agenda items. I have that motion by Councilman Napier, second by Councilman Landry. Take that off. Push your button again. I'm still locked. Okay. Councilman Napier?
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take out summary number 37.
For what purpose does the gentleman seek to take out that
To,
summary?
because we need a motion to suspend the rules as needed, as this item was not considered by the Joint Committee.
Okay. Councilman Pellerin?
Summary's 39. We talked about this last meeting. I thought we were supposed to get a copy of that contract and to,
At this time, there's no debate on those amendments. If you'd like to take that amendment out, we can.
I'd like to take it out.
For what purpose?
I want to talk about the contract.
Okay. Is that all for you? Gentleman yields back. Anyone else on the consent agenda items? Hearing and seeing none, we'll vote to accept all agenda items except for 37 and 39. 37 and 39 will be omitted. Vote your machines on final adoption, members. Councilman Napier? Councilman Pellerin? That motion carries unanimously. Summary number 37, introduced by the parish president. I need a motion to open. I'm sorry, I need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion by Councilman Napier, second by Councilman Rossini. Vote your machines, members, to suspend the rules. Voting. Be gentle with them. We gotta last a year. That motion carries unanimously. That agenda item has suspended the rules. Now to open up on the main motion. I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Rossini and a second by Councilman Napier. Councilman Rossini.
Waive.
Councilman Napier.
Waive.
Any main motion discussions on summary number 37, members? Hearing and seeing none, vote your machines on final adoption. Summary number 37. You don't have to, it's gonna keep doing it. You don't have to. If you want to press the voting, we're voting for final adoption. Vote your machines, final adoption, number 37, members. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 39, introduced by the parish president. I need a motion to open. Have a motion by Councilman Pellerin, second by Councilman Capral. Councilman Pellerin?
Yeah, I was just, I thought we were going to get a copy of this contract. I mean, I'm not against it or anything. I'd just like to see the contract before I vote on it.
Okay. We actually were provided with 2 contracts by Acadian. One for emergency and non-emergency services in the parish, essentially granting them exclusive coverage for the parish, and a second one for the jail transports. They're pretty, at least the first one is pretty extensive. So if you want, we can defer. I can get you a copy of that. I've had a chance to review it, but I haven't had a chance to write up my recommendations. As far as the jail contract, that one's a little bit simpler. That would be $2,500 for a flat fee for jail transports.
Pretty good deal.
To local?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at the number of transports from the jail, that's definitely something that works out in the parish's favor. So it just depends how you want to proceed.
At this point, you have the floor. Whatever your recommendation is to the council.
I'm good, as long as Ian looks
He'll
it
show
over.
it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to clarify, when you're authorizing the parish president, you're not saying you have to vote for this specific contract, or you have to, like, as it is approved, you're kind of giving him the discretion within those lines to negotiate for y'all.
I'm good.
The gentleman from District 10 yields back. The gentleman from District 4 is recognized.
Also, I think the contract is for 4 years.
It's a 4-year term that's consistent with the terms that Iberia Parish and Acadian have had, I guess, since 2003, at least.
It works out with, right. It works out with the elected term that you have.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from District 6 is recognized.
Am I reading this resolution incorrect? This one is only relating to the jail? This resolution's not with regard to the exclusive?
He was
No, you-
asking for information on both of those.
Right, but this resolution that we're
Just for the
approving
jail
tonight
contract.
is only the
Just
one
for the jail.
relating to the
correct.
jail?
Correct.
That is correct.
So, I mean, you still have time to look at the other one?
Right.
All right.
That's all.
Good. The gentlewoman yields back. Anyone else? Seeing no request, members, vote your machines on final adoption of summary number 39. Vote your machines, members. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to ordinances introduced for public hearing and adoption, we have summary number 5291, introduced by the zoning commission.
An ordinance approving the reclassification request of 0.85 acres of property located at 102 Church Street, with said parcel being rezoned from a R-2 mixed residential to C-2 commercial, located in District 8, all as reviewed and recommended by the Iberia Parish Zoning Commission. Note, this item was deferred at the February 21st, 2024 Iberia Parish Council meeting.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Trahan, second by Councilman Pellerin. Councilman Trahan.
Yeah, I'd like to call Mr. Weaver up, so he can just kind of explain to us about this.
Absolutely. Mr. Weaver, if you can step to the mic and state your name and title for the record, please.
Jacob Weaver, Iberia Parish Regional Planning Director. We deferred last time because there was some discussion at the meeting about access on Church Street. So we kind of deferred to legal, and I think we came to the conclusion that that would be handled at a later date. You know, they have to go through these traffic analysis, especially on a DOTD highway. So when a property owner like this wants to put one, they're going to have to sacrifice their own land to make Church Street wider to accommodate any kind of future traffic that would have been on it. So, but that isn't the intention. You know, it's the same owner as the adjacent property, and they're just trying to expand some parking. And we didn't have them here last time, and that was another question. It was just to have the property owner here.
You do have an opportunity if you want to address the council at this time.
Whenever you guys come up.
Mr. Trahan, you still have the floor.
All right, I just want Mr. Weaver to explain to everybody, so
Yes, sir.
I just hope we get this passed so they can get their property rezoned, continue doing business.
Thank you. The gentleman from District 8 yields back. The gentleman from District 10 is recognized.
Yeah, I'm one of them that kind of spearheaded this last time, and look, I'm all for it. You know, I just wanted to make y'all aware that for the zoning meeting, you know, they did have a lot of, not opposition for the rezoning, just for the use of Church Street, and I understand their concerns. And the owner addressed them and told them exactly what he wanted to do. And I'm aware with the DOTD stuff, I just wanted us to try to, make everyone aware that we did have some concerns with Church Street being narrow and the amount of traffic if they would exit on Church Street. I'm completely fine with the rezoning and everything.
The gentleman yields back, seeing and hearing none. Jacob, did you want to close on anything?
No, sir.
Okay. I do want to say this before we vote, members. I want to thank the Shinskys for their investment and continued investment in Iberia Parish. We appreciate it. We sorry that sometimes you got to go through hoops to get that, but we definitely appreciate all that you bring to our parish. So thank you. Members, hearing and seeing no other discussion, vote your machines on final adoption of 5291. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 5293, introduced by legal counsel.
An ordinance to amend and reenact Section 10-85 of the compiled of ordinances of Iberia Parish, Louisiana, relating to the Recreation and Playground Commission board member requirements, to provide for the effective date thereof, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Pellerin. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Trahan. Councilman Pellerin.
Waive.
Councilman Trahan. Any discussion, members? Legal?
This is just to allow the town of Delcambre to appoint a resident who is in Vermilion Parish to be on the board for Parks and Rec.
All right, hearing and seeing no other discussion, members, please vote your machines on final adoption 5293. That motion carries. In opposition is Councilman Landry and Councilwoman Broussard. Moving on to resolutions introduced for public hearing and adoption. We have summary number 261, introduced by the clerk.
A resolution appointing one member to the Iberia Parish Recreation and Playground Commission for a 5-year term to fill a vacancy created by the expiration of a term for Mr. Chris Esponge, which term will expire on January 13th, 2024. Applications on file, Mr. Benny Roy. Note, this item was tabled at the January 10th, 2024 Iberia Parish Council meeting.
Do I have a motion to remove from the table? Have a motion by Councilman Broussard to remove. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Pellerin. Members, vote your machines to remove that item from the table. Councilman Napier?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
That motion carries. Summary number 261 is removed. I need a motion to open summary 261 for the main motion. I have that main motion by Councilman Swear and a second by Councilman Trahan. You're pressing too fast. I gotta go through the modes. Members, if you want to speak, I apologize. Go ahead and press your machines again. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, vote your machines on final adoption 261. Did he come before us? Yes. Okay. That motion carries. Moving on to summary number 26, introduced by Fire Protection District Number 1.
A resolution amending 2024 Fire District Number 1 fund budget in the amount of $60,000 to provide additional funding for necessary repairs to Station 100 to remedy damages caused by a water leak in the second-story window that damaged both levels and additional damage by a busted pipe within the wall during the freezing temperatures on Monday, January 22nd, 2024. All to be funded from fund balance previous years.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Broussard, a second by Councilman Brown. Councilwoman Broussard.
Waive.
Councilman Brown. Any other main motion discussion, members? Hearing and seeing none, vote your machines on final adoption, summary 26. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 29, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution to authorize the parish president to make a recommendation to the Louisiana Board of Commerce regarding Bagwell Energy Services Incorporated Industrial Tax Exemption Program, contract number 201-803-23-A-ITE for the amount of $970,091 with one of the following options. A, to reduce the term of the exemption. B, reduce the annual percentage of the exemption.
That's the second one.
C, to terminate the exemption. D, defer any decision or action for non-compliance for project year 2020 by Bagwell Energy Services Incorporated. To the Louisiana Board of Commerce and Industry, or E, recommend that the Louisiana Board of Commerce and Industry take no action for the non-compliance for project year 2020 by Bagwell Energy Service. Note, this item was deferred at the February 21st, 2024 meeting.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Brown. Do I have a second? Members, I need a second to open. I have a second by Councilwoman Broussard. Councilman Brown.
Yes, I would recommend that we look at
He's on. Check to see if it's, Mr. Brown, if you pull your mic, yeah, that's okay.
I would recommend that we look at D. Recommend that to
Okay.
Defer any actions or defer any decision or actions for noncompliance for.
Okay. Have a recommendation to the council by Councilman Brown on D. Members, Councilman Brown is recommending D. Mr. Brown, are you finished?
I'm finished.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from District 6 is recognized.
I think we had a lot of questions and wanted to hear from the representative from the company, and it looks like you didn't come alone this time, huh? You came with backup. So if without objection, I would yield and.
Without objection. Okay, members, before you begin, state your name and title.
My name is Mike Sokol. I work for Bagwell Energy. I'm the Vice President of Business Development.
And if I can get him also.
Yes.
Good evening. Ruben Rangel, Senior Manager with Vanis Consulting.
Good. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah, I noticed that during 2020, we all know it was the onset of COVID. And that first year we had it was going into business like that, it was very trying. The offshore market shut down. The whole industry pretty much shut down. We were given some of the PPP money and employee retention time to help keep our employees. That was the only way we survived this. And during this time, not sure if you guys are aware, but there were probably 8 to 9 other businesses identical to ours that have shut down and have not reopened. So we feel like that, the investment that Bagwell made early on with the capital investment, we've become a very high-tech company. And being that we're high-tech, we feel that we're going to be here for the long haul. So we feel like that we've been training people. We're trying to train more welders, trying to train more fitters to be in this industry. Since the port, I worked at the port for 25 years, and it's nothing like it was back in the 80s, 90s, and early in the 2000s. There used to be 3,000 or 4,000 people working at that place, and everybody who grew up in this part of the world knows how busy the Port of Iberia was. So it's we're trying to be the success story with Bagwell, and we appreciate it. And
Ms.
hope
Broussard,
that
you still have the floor.
Yeah, I tend to agree with the gentleman that this is year 2020 when COVID hit and the world shut down. And I would agree with Mr. Brown that we should do D in this case and defer any decision to the Louisiana Board of Commerce and Industry.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman. I do have a question. You referred to the year 2020, which we're talking about tonight because of COVID. I'm going to ask again on the record, have you met the minimum requirements as of this year? Are you still at that benchmark?
Mr. Chairman, all that is on the.
I understand, but I'm asking for the record that it be inserted in the record.
Oh, on this record.
Yeah.
For 2024, the current year?
Yeah.
Or-
Are you meeting the benchmark for this exemption currently?
It's still about 50% off.
Okay, that's just my biggest thing when we say we all took a hit in COVID. I get it. I don't want the record to reflect that this is just 2020. You will be back 21, 22, 23, and possibly 24. So I just want to set the record straight for those down the way. Councilman Trahone has a question.
Yeah, my question is, in your industry and your business, do you have anything that happened between now and then that made your business more automated, where you have less employees to compensate for this? Is that any kind of, anything like that happening in your company?
Yes, we purchased, anybody knows the fabrication part of it. We purchased a 100-inch diameter vessel profiler. We're an ASME code facility, so we can actually profile production vessels. We also have the biggest pipe profiler in the South. The flip side is this machine takes the place of 6 fitters, and is operated by one young man, a little computer guru. He's 20 years old, and he can cut enough pipe. We actually process 10,000 inches of weld a week. So without having a machine like that, you could never do it. You would have more employees, but your productivity would probably be a little slower. So the automation part of it has been a big plus.
Right. So that's what I was getting at. So if you're along the lines, if you have more and more automation where you're cutting employees, maybe we might need to see about doing a reset and maybe renegotiating something with your employees, or what you think your future is gonna be with your automations to cut back on employees, might be an option for you.
Yeah, well, you still have to load your shop up. You still have to, it takes so much work by the fab shop. This facility can probably eventually do 150 to 175 employees. It's in the process of growing. We just added a 10,000 square foot stainless facility that handles just special alloy stainless, which is a big addition. It's gonna really, there's not many fab yards that have totally dedicated. We now have 31,000 square feet of blast and paint under roof. The only thing that we subcontract is NDE, and everything else is done in our facility. So, we've been dedicated to growing this thing. We added another 100 feet to the main shop. We have, it's constantly growing. It's a 60-acre facility, and anybody who's not been out there, when you see it, we're there for the right reason.
I was just trying to make sure, if you're doing the same amount of work with less people, you're doing the same volume, but with less people, so maybe you need to look at eventually, if that's the case, where you're going in a direction, maybe renegotiate what your terms are with the employee and the salaries that you have for this exemption.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Gentleman yields back. I do have another question on, as far as the skilled laborers. How hard is it for you to find skilled laborers currently? I mean, is you having employment problems in that field?
Yes,
Finding people skilled, ready to go, and
there's not many out there. What happens is when other companies come in, and I'll use the example that Turner came in and bought Dynamic.
Correct.
And granted, they came in and they raised the rate, so we were forced to raise our rates. I mean, you do what you have to do to keep your really skilled people, because we do a lot of high-tech welding. We've invested in a lot of high-tech equipment, and so you have to pay those guys more than what you normally would pay a guy just breaking out. It's a little discouraging sometimes when you don't see the schools and you don't see the training coming in. We try to bring young men in. We have at our facility there's a lot of guys from Delcom in that area, young men. We have 4 or 5 ex-military guys. And then, those guys are just dedicated to working and to learning. So that's been a big plus.
And I think you might have answered my next question. You are working with the trade and community college.
We've talked to
trained
them.
guys about
Yes.
coming. Okay.
Yes.
Councilman Napier on discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, I think, if I remember right, wasn't this voted on by us back in 18 or 19? Am I correct or wrong?
I think
Something like that?
19 we started.
19, so, correct me if I'm wrong, we have never met the criteria that we set forth, right?
So 2019 would have been the first compliance
2019.
year. And if I remember correctly, the job commitment was surpassed by about 5, and the payroll commitment was short by a couple $100,000 for 2019.
So you were close in 19 and COVID. Look, I'm a businessman myself. I'm all for business. The thing that I worry about is, I know we're looking at 20, and then in committee, we're gonna be looking at 21, and then you're saying, so obviously 22, 23, same thing? And look, I'm gonna say it, I'm all about trying to support our local business, and I know Bagwell's doing their part
Yeah.
for this area.
They've been in business almost 40 years.
Right. I've had some friends that worked over there with y'all. The thing I worry about is this is all public. People, other businesses are gonna see whatever we do. Then what? So we set of goals when we give a tax exemption and they not followed for several years, and then we let that go. I mean, that's just one of the things I'm struggling with, is that not only who will be the next Bagwell that comes up that we did that for, that comes back and say, hey, you did it for them, do it for us. Are we opening up a can of worms?
Sure, and this may help a little bit. I did look at the public records, and there's three, including Bagwell, there's three companies that have ITEP contracts under this particular executive order, which was the John Bel Edwards executive order that changed the ITEP program. You may have seen a few weeks ago, our new governor just issued a new executive order, which basically said, going forward, any other projects, the jobs and payroll piece isn't required and isn't contingent on approval. So, just for what it's
Thank you for that, thank you. So I'm just struggling with that, but I do support y'all. I'm good, Mr. Chairman, for now.
Okay, members, hearing and seeing no other debate on the floor, we did have a recommendation by Mr. Brown to the council on item D. I'll need a motion or someone to come up with that. I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Broussard, if you want to state your motion.
Yeah, I would make a motion to amend the resolution to recommend item D.
Have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Broussard to recommend item B. Is that okay with Councilman Trump?
D.
I'm sorry.
D as
D as in dog. Is that okay with the second, Councilman Trahan?
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Trahan, discussion?
I'll wait.
Wait.
So-
All right.
Can I ask a question?
Well,
I'm sorry.
the debate's gonna be about the
Okay.
substitute motion of being item D, whether
Okay.
you support
No,
that or
it's-
not.
Can I ask a question about that? So, it says we're gonna defer, so we're not gonna make any decision.
Ultimately, any decision we make, it's ultimately up to the Board of Commerce.
Put Ms., hold on a second. Put Ms. Broussard's mic back on, please, just for this short time. Okay, Ms.
Yeah.
Broussard, state that again,
Can you
please.
say that again?
Whatever decision is made regarding this exemption is going to be made by the Louisiana Board of Commerce and Industry,
No matter what we do?
no matter what we do. This is just us telling our parish president what we want him to recommend to the board. So my proposal of amending to D is saying, we're just gonna defer to the board. We're not gonna tell the board what they should or should not do. We're not gonna make any recommendations. We're gonna defer to whatever they think.
Whatever and we're gonna live by that decision.
We have to live
We
by their
have to live
decision
by it anyway, but we're not gonna make a recommendation on Bagwell's part.
Correct.
Or defense or whatever. Okay, I understand, I got you.
The gentleman yields back here and seeing no other discussion. Item D is recommended and amended by Councilwoman Broussard, second by Councilman Trahan. Vote your machines on amendment. Councilman Brown. That motion to amend passes. Back to the main motion with item D inserted. Vote your machines on final adoption. Members on summary 29.
That's not right.
Councilman Napier. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 30, introduced by the parish president.
Mr. Chairman, before we go on, I just wanted them to realize that we do have year 21 and 22.
Correct.
They're aware.
Committee, and you may want to stick around
They're
for
aware.
questions for now.
Summary number 30, introduced by the parish president. Madam Clerk.
A resolution to authorize the parish president to make a recommendation to the Louisiana Board of Commerce regarding Bagwell Energy Services Incorporated Industrial Tax Exemption Program, contract number 201-803-23-B-ITE for the amount of $1,186,843 with one of the following options. A, to reduce the term of the exemption. B, to reduce the annual percentage of the exemption. C, to terminate the exemption. D, defer any decision or action for non-compliance for project year 2020 by Bagwell Energy Services Incorporated to the Louisiana Board of Commerce and Industry. Or E, recommend that the Louisiana Board of Commerce and Industry take no action for the non-compliance for project year 2020 by Bagwell Energy Services. Note, this item was deferred at the February 21st, 2024 Iberia Parish Council meeting.
Members, do I have a motion? I have a motion by Councilman Brown, second by Councilman Landry. Councilman Brown.
Yes. I do the same thing with this one as I did with the one before.
Councilman Brown,
D.
you recommending D?
Right.
All right. Are you finished, Councilman?
Yes.
Councilman Brown yields back. For the record, members, Councilman Brown is recommending the council to vote D. I have a second by Councilman Landry. Councilman Landry in discussion.
I'm gonna agree with Councilman Brown, but I think we're gonna be on this horse for a minute, because we having a lot of discussion on it. So I really give them a wave for 2020. I think that was expected, but
Well, we didn't give them a wave. Don't
Not a
I mean, for the
wave,
record.
but I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll recommend.
No
that
action.
Yeah, so I'm good.
Okay, Councilman Landry yields back. We've been recommended by Councilman Brown. Do I have a motion to amend on the floor? I have a motion to amend on the floor by Councilwoman Broussard, second by Councilman Trahal. Councilwoman Broussard, state your amendment.
I would amend summary number 30 to make the recommendation of number D,
Number D.
item D.
Nice one, Councilwoman. Is that okay with the second? All right, members, at this time, I have a motion on the floor to recommend item D by Councilwoman Broussard, second by Councilman Trahal. Is there any discussion on that, members? Councilman Trahal, discussion? No. Hearing no other discussion, members, it's going to be vote your machines on amendment, the Broussard amendment. That motion carries unanimously. Back to the main motion with the amendment, vote your machines on final adoption, summary number 30. Councilman Napier, Councilman Swear. That motion, Councilman Crepel. That motion carries unanimously with the amendment. Moving on to summary number 40, introduced by the parish president.
A resolution authorizing participation in the Acadiana Watershed District as codified by Louisiana Act 323 and designating Acadiana Planning Commission as the office of the Acadiana Watershed's business operations, as well as the public fiscal agent and administering body to conduct daily operations.
Do I have a motion on the floor, members? Motion on the floor by Councilman Landry, second by Councilman Pellerin. Councilman Landry.
Wave.
Councilman Pellerin.
Wave.
Hearing no other discussion, Mr. Richard, I would just recommend to you to stay on top of this deal. We didn't get our best results in the last phase of this deal. Hopefully, the Acadiana Planning Commission can help us out in the next phases.
Hopefully, Warren, Mr. Chairman,
Chairman?
hopefully,
Save that for 4 years from now.
the Acadiana Planning Commission, we can do a little bit better for the local parishes in this area. As you know, I serve as the chairman for the Acadiana Planning Commission. And when we submitted our two projects a couple of years ago, we submitted the two projects according to the way the Louisiana Watershed Initiative recommended we send them, which was projects that would include multiple parishes. And we didn't get selected, and some of the parishes that got selected, we had a lot of discussion. So by doing this here and being a little bit more in control of it, more on a local basis, I think we're going to get better results. And believe me, I'm on top of it.
Well, just to correct you, when you say parishes, most of them were municipalities none of us heard of before.
Exactly.
That only helped select few. So, going back to Councilman Broussard?
Yeah, just some clarity. Remember, when we were in joint committee, there was not a lot of clarity on how these things get picked and why they picked certain municipalities that we, like you said, we had no clue. So some clarity, some priority, understanding what those priorities are, I think would be great.
Right.
So
Well,
whatever the time is.
And I'm glad you said that, because the Acadiana Planning Commission has been very fair in a lot of those regional projects, and I think they can administer this a lot better than
the
how
state.
it happened politically in Baton Rouge. So
That's
I
the
agree with
reason
you.
we're trying to go local. regional.
Good.
Councilman Broussard yields back here, and seeing no other discussion, vote your machines on final adoption and summary 40, members. That motion carries. Councilman Trahan in opposition. Moving on to summary number 41, introduced by the Regional Planning Commission. Madam Clerk.
A resolution granting preliminary and final plat approval to subdivision of property belonging to Ronnie Priu, located on Laurelville Road and Candle Glow Drive, to subdivide 11.445 acres of property into 2 lots for residential use, located in District 11, subject to compliance with Planning and Zoning Commission Staff Report PC 2024-001, all as reviewed and recommended by the Iberia Parish Regional Planning Commission.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Crapell, second by Councilman Napier. Councilman Crapell?
I'd like to call up Mr. Priu so he can discuss what he's trying to do.
Absolutely. Mr. Priu, if you can come to the mic and just state your name and address, please. And Mr. Weaver, I'm sure there'll be a question for you if you want to join the gentleman at the podium.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm Ronald Priu Jr. What I'm doing is dividing
Your
the...
address, please, sir.
313 Candle Glow Drive, New Iberia, Louisiana.
Sorry about that. Welcome, sir.
Sir?
You good? Go ahead.
I'm just dividing this up. I'm selling a piece of property to an old friend of mine. He also lives on Candle Glow Drive. And that's all I'm doing right now. I'm fixing to divide the property up between my children, so they'll have all of this squared away in the very near future. And that's basically all we're doing right now.
So the remaining balance, you'll do like a family partition?
Yes, sir.
With your kids? Okay.
That's in the works right now, but we're gonna take care of this piece first.
Okay. Councilman Crapell, you still have the floor, sir.
That's it.
The gentleman from District 13 yields back. The gentleman from District 11 is recognized.
Mr. Ronald, where exactly is this property at? Is it at the it says at the corner of Laurelville Highway and Candle Glow?
Yes, sir. Well, our family property starts on Louisville Road and goes to the coulee at the S-curve on Candle Glow Drive, that one long strip. My sister was allocated the Louisville Road portion of the property from my grandparents, and I have all of the pasture and wooded area in the back.
When you turn down Candle Glow, you're on the left-hand side?
Yes, sir. East
Okay.
side.
Okay, I'm just trying to make, him and I split Candle Glow, so I'm trying to,
Which side are you on?
I'm
Left
on your side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. You got me. You got me.
Put him some voters there, Mr. Priu. Put him some voters there.
So I'm turned down. They ain't gonna let me serve no more. Thank you, Mr. Ronald. I appreciate that. Jacob, so that was a whole lot going on right here. Everything's.
Yes, sir.
Because I was reading, they had some questions about some things.
It was totally a different topic. What he's speaking of, the family partition area, that was actually submitted to us, but then this deal came up, so we held off on that plat. You should be seeing the kids' plat coming up pretty soon, but when he got an opportunity to sell a little land to his friend, that's why we broke up this. His lot is actually just getting bigger. It's not like it's a separate lot to sell or
So
put
he
another
just
house.
splitting it in half, track A, track
He's
B?
putting just a little bit of acre off of his main acreage. James Guillaume is growing his lot. He lives on Candle Glow, and he's basically just adding an acre to his back.
Yeah.
At one lot, no, not another house, nothing like that.
Okay, and you good
It was
with
good, yes, sir.
everything? He's good?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ronald. I appreciate you coming tonight. Thank
The
you.
gentleman from District
I'm good.
11 yields back. The gentleman from District 3 is recognized.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that when we talk about planning and zoning, we get maps in front of us in our packets.
Yeah.
I didn't see one in my
We have
packet.
that, that's, yeah.
I just want to make sure it's here. I mean, we're all kind of looking at some, handouts, but just make sure we have that in our packets. Help us.
It'd be nice to
Yeah.
have that.
No problem.
Thank you. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah.
The gentleman yields back.
Good
Gentleman
luck,
from
Mr.
District 10 is recognized. Hold on one second, we may have another one. Councilman Pellerin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to comment on Brian. Brian, this guy, we met, we had many discussions with him several times. A few years back, they wanted to close off one of the intersections,
The crossroad?
the crossroad
Yeah.
that goes to his property, and he fought it or whatever. I've been dealing with this for a long time, but it actually runs in between Interlude and Candleglow. It's that strip right there. So what he's doing is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I
Gotcha.
just wanted to let you know
Okay.
that.
The gentleman yields back. Mr. Pre, I'm just glad to hear that your kids are gonna stay here, and again, then they'll have,
And they're
more
going to
investments.
Youngsville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more investments. Thank you for that in Iberia Parish. We appreciate it.
All right.
All right, hearing no other, discussion, vote your machines on final adoption. Summary number 41, members. That motion carries unanimously. Moving on to summary number 42, introduced by Scott Rossany of District 9.
A resolution amending the 2024 Economic Development District Number 1 fund budget to revise the appropriation line item, include engineering expenditures for the Acadiana Regional Airport hangar project, and create an architect engineering service line item in the amount of $900,000, with said amount to be funded from contract payments line item for said project.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Rossany, second by blank. Oh, second by Councilman Landry. Councilman Rossany on discussion.
Waive and reserve the right to amend.
Second by Councilman Landry.
Waive.
Seeing no, and here, oh, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Broussard on the floor. Councilwoman Broussard is recognized.
I think when we took this up in the Economic Development District, we amended it, and we need to amend it here too.
He did reserve the right to
Okay.
do that if you want to, unless you want to do it, and we,
I'll move to amend it to
Have-
the $132,045, having the separate line item for the architect engineering services.
I have a motion on the floor to amend by Councilwoman Broussard, second by Councilman Rossany.
Hold on a second. If I can, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
Do we think that's gonna be the total number? Because we don't know what the engineering is.
I think they already, yeah, I think.
That was provided? Okay, good.
You good, Miss?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Councilwoman Broussard, second, is that okay with Councilman Rossany? Any discussion on the Broussard amendment? Hearing and seeing none, roll call on the amendment, members. She's on a roll tonight. Councilman Napier, Councilman Landry.
Napier's out.
Councilman Landry? And then go ahead and put in voting. That motion carries, hold on one second. We're gonna have to redo that. Councilman Landry did not vote.
Huh?
He can't waive. Done. Okay, let's go back. Vote your machines on final, on the amendment on summary number 42, members. Let's try this again.
You gotta vote.
Okay, now in voting.
You gotta vote now.
That motion carries unanimously. Note, Councilman Napier is absent at voting. Back to the main motion with the amendment in there, members. Vote your machines on final adoption. That motion carries unanimously. Note that Councilman Napier was absent at voting. Just to remind the general public, our next meeting is March 27th. Stormwater survey is still available on our website and adjudicated properties through Civic Source. I have a motion on the floor to adjourn by Councilwoman Broussard, and second by Councilman Broussard, third by Councilman Rossany, and then a bunch of blanks. Vote your machines on adjournment, members. And in vote. That motion carries unanimously. We're now adjourned.